Have you ever felt crushed by the weight of guilt, shame, fear, or past mistakes? We live in a world where these burdens can feel overwhelming, almost as if they've become a part of who we are. But here's the beautiful truth. Jesus Christ has already dealt with these burdens by nailing them to the cross. You don't have to carry them anymore. In Colossians chapter 2 verse 14, we read these powerful words. He blotted out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. But what exactly does this mean for us today? Let's break this down together. The handwriting of ordinances refers to a spiritual ledger, an exhaustive record of all the sins and failures that kept us separated from God. This wasn't just a metaphorical list, it was a real spiritual indictment against us. Every sin, every moment of rebellion, and every failure was written down as evidence that we had fallen short of God's glory. And this record stood as a barrier between us and the perfect holiness of God. It constantly reminded us of our guilt, filling us with shame and a sense of unworthiness. But then something miraculous happened. When Jesus went to the cross, he took that entire record of sin, the debt we could never pay, and he nailed it to the cross with his own body. Think about that for a moment. Every failure, every regret, every sin was placed on Jesus, and when those nails were driven into his hands, your debt was paid. It was wiped out. That list of sins that condemned you, it no longer exists. It's such a powerful symbol. The cross isn't just a reminder of what Jesus endured, it's a declaration of what he accomplished. He blotted out the record of our sin. It's gone, and because of that, we no longer have to carry the weight of our past. But here's the challenge. Many of us are still trying to carry what Jesus has already nailed to the cross. We carry guilt over past sins that God has already forgiven. We carry shame, thinking we're not good enough. We carry fear, worrying about the future. We even carry unforgiveness, sickness, and insecurity, things that Jesus has already defeated. Friends, Jesus didn't go to the cross so that we would continue to live in bondage. He nailed every one of these burdens, sin, guilt, fear, shame, to the cross. And when he declared, "It is finished," he meant it. The work is done. You don't have to carry these things anymore. Jesus carried them for you. That's the freedom the cross gives us. It's not a freedom from challenges or difficulties, but a freedom from the power those challenges have over us. The cross represents the victory that Jesus secured over sin and death, a victory that belongs to everyone who believes in him. So, what are some of the burdens you're carrying today? Are you weighed down by the sins of your past, even though Jesus has already forgiven you? Do you struggle with fear or worry, even though Jesus has conquered death and promised you eternal life? Maybe you're dealing with rejection or unforgiveness, holding on to pain that keeps you trapped in bitterness. Or perhaps it's something more personal, like sickness, depression, or feelings of insecurity. Whatever it is, know this: Jesus nailed it to the cross. It no longer has the right to weigh you down. Instead of holding on to these burdens, Jesus invites you to lay them down. He carried them so you don't have to. He nailed them to the cross, once and for all, so you can walk in the freedom that he offers. Yes, challenges will still come, but they no longer have the power to control your life. The freedom Jesus offers is a freedom that lasts, a freedom rooted in his victory over sin, death, and every force that tries to bind you. Remember, the cross isn't just a symbol of suffering, it's a symbol of victory. When Jesus died, he also rose again, and in his resurrection, he declared victory over everything that held us captive. Sin no longer has dominion over you. Guilt no longer has a claim on your life. Fear no longer has a place in your heart. Shame is powerless. All of these things were nailed to the cross. Jesus declared, "It is finished," and today, you can walk in the fullness of that finished work. So today, I encourage you, whatever you're carrying, whatever burden weighs you down, lay it at the foot of the cross. Jesus has already dealt with it. He has already set you free. Walk in that freedom. Remember the words from Colossians chapter 2 verse 14. He took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. If this message has touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Salt of the Earth Ministries, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with someone who needs to know that Jesus has already set them free. May you walk in his peace and his victory today. God bless you.